So today was a very interesting day on Twitter. There's a discussion that's arisen about Guilty Gear Strive and how accessible it is for new players, and I just want to show you the tweet that kickstarted the whole thing. It's by Silas at Metal Grunt. Guilty Gear Strive becoming easier for casuals achieved the exact opposite of what they set out to do. Instead of being more welcoming for people who are new, it made it even less appealing because tryhards and pros will just slaughter you. Good job. Now, as you can see, there's a big discussion about it. And a lot of really good points. Like, there's a lot of things people are saying that make a lot of sense from both sides of the spectrum. Arc System Works pretty much wanted Guilty Gear Strive to be a lot easier for newcomers, and Maximilian has chimed into the conversation, and he brings up some pretty interesting points too. He says, the devs of Strive said they designed the gameplay roster so that newer players could stand a chance against high-level pros. I 100% don't think that's being accomplished. You bring in newer players through different means. We'll chat about it tonight in detail. So I'm assuming he's going to make a video about it. Yeah, me too. This is one of the interesting things to me, right? Is he says that after watching several other streams over the past week of Lobby 6 and below, you hardly ever see anyone using meter, much less their meter on things like offensive, defensive RC. Below this lobby is where the vast majority of players are experiencing the game like 80% plus. And that's pretty interesting because I have a few friends that aren't as into fighting games as I am, and watching them play the game and watching them experience the game, I can kind of relate to what he's saying there. Like, Guilty Gear Strive's main shtick, for lack of a better word, is the whole RC system, right? They've really kind of gone balls deep on this roam and cancel system, and that's the key defining feature. That's what separates it from the crowd in the ways that you can use it, the 4 different types of RCs and all their applications, and fast cancelling RCs and using drift and all that good stuff. But newer players are just coming in, and I guarantee you half the time they're not even doing the tutorial. I mean, look, I haven't done mission mode yet. I know, crazy. But I did the tutorial when the beta first came out, because obviously I need to know what the fuck was going on. But the problem is, like, learning the game mechanics and really understanding what the characters can do with it. It's something that you really need to go into training mode for and really take the time to invest and not really play the game in the traditional sense and just absorb all the information, you know? And I guarantee you new players aren't doing that because it's not something that's instilled into the general population. If you look at all these other competitive games, right, you've got like League of Legends, you've got Overwatch, Call of Duty, Fortnite. There's no training mode. You just go in, you just play, you learn from experience. And for the most part, I actually like to play my fighting games the same way. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand the necessity of training mode, and I go in there. I do like to explore the characters and what they can do, but for the most part, I just like to play the game and figure shit out as I go. Once I know the basics, I can be like, yeah, okay, cool, we'll just have some fun with it. And I think that's where a lot of the population is going to be at. And then if you go back to that original tweet, right, where he's talking about the game being less appealing because all the tryhards and all the pros are going to crush the newer players. That kind of happens in every game. Any kind of competitive game, in any kind of competitive setting, that's always going to happen. If you jump into Fortnite right now, and you've never played a game in your life, or Apex, or Warzone, sure, you understand the basic concepts, the basic controls of, I run over here and I shoot people, and I pick up more guns and I shoot them with the different guns. That's how you play these games, right? Little do you know, little Johnny spawned over there, he's been playing for 100 hours this week, so far, and he's on the hunt for that ass. It's kind of the learning curve of the game. You're always going to get crushed. You just got to kind of wade through the trenches of defeat and emerge out the other side victorious for once, learning from the depths of your mistake to emerge in victory. So then if you're going with that, right, if that's inevitable, how are new players going to stick with the game enough to wade through that? Because look, getting smashed constantly is not fun. And I think that's where interesting characters kind of really take center stage here and help dictate whether a player is going to stick with the game or not. Perfect example is Overwatch, right? Or League of Legends. They have amazing characters in the game. Fully fleshed out, full detailed stories. Perfect example, Wukong in League of Legends. Didn't even know if he was going to be any good, but I play the shit out of him because he's fucking Wukong, bro. That's it. It's the character. Like, it didn't even matter how good he was. You look at Overwatch. When they first announced Sombra for Overwatch, I was like, I'm in. Sign me up, baby. Think about when you first start playing a game. We'll use Strive, for example, right? Now, my Guilty Gear main, Venom, is not in Strive. So I've actually had to go through this again. I've gone like, who am I gonna play? Who am I gonna main in Guilty Gear Strive? And I looked at all the characters, and then I saw the Giovanna trailer, and I was like, you know what? She looks fucking dope. She's this acrobatic super spy secret agent with a spirit dog. Like, why wouldn't I play that? That's fucking dope. Boom. Done. And stuff like that will help people stay invested enough to learn enough about the game to progress above floor 6. Look at the most successful fighting games ever. Look at Smash Bros. And don't give me that shit if you don't want to class it as a fighting game. Fuck you, it's a fighting game. Look how many characters are in Ultimate. There's like 72 characters. Like, that's so many. And it doesn't matter what you've grown up with, what games you like, there is a character in there for you. You like Pokemon? There's a Pokemon trainer. You don't want to be the trainer? You can be a Pokemon. You want to fight with swords? There's way too many of those guys. You want to play Mario? Play the Mario. Excited for that new Metroid game? Boom, play Samus. Like, there's so many characters. Then you got another game like Dragon Ball FighterZ where it's fucking Dragon Ball. Oh, but there's too many Gokus. Hey, shut up. There's heaps of characters now, alright? Don't be that guy. Then you got a game like Mortal Kombat, or Street Fighter, or Tekken. Have all these characters from a franchise that are decades of years old with legacy behind them that people know. You don't even have to know fighting games to know, hey, is that karate guy that shoots Hadoukens? Hey, there's that ninja that shoots ice. Oh, get over here, ha ha! There's so much legacy behind these characters that there's something familiar to keep these people entertained. And I think the biggest thing that Guilty Gear Strive was really trying to accomplish in terms of making the game easier for new players to pick up and play is the way that they kind of handled the Gatling system. And it's like, I agree with it, but I also don't. Like, I feel like the Dragon Ball FighterZ approach was the most optimal. You've got auto combos for each of the buttons. Like, you can switch your brain off and do cool shit, but it's not optimal. It's like nowhere near optimal. So there's still so much depth in the game. Like, if you want to be like, oh, I've seen this guy do this combo that just lasts like 300 years. I want to do that. Well, sir, you can. You look at Smash Bros. Obviously, that's incredibly easy to pick up and play. Like, the special moves are forward B, up B, down B. You look at Mortal Kombat, they don't have these complicated inputs. They have forward button, back forward button. And then if we go back to Guilty Gear Strive, what they've strayed from the older games was the Gatling system was a bit more flexible in the older games. You could just go like punch, kick, slash, blah, blah, blah. Where in this game, there's a bit more purpose to the combos, if you understand what I'm saying. You can't just mash the buttons and hope for the best. Like, it doesn't work that way. There's purposeful design. And at first I thought that was gonna really hinder the game for new players because it's so strange to me to not be able to just like string shit together. But I was reading through that Twitter thread and people are actually saying that the game is very easy to pick up and play. And apparently the combos are a lot simpler, a lot easier to digest. I'm not doing like punch, kick, buck, 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 buck. Like, I go in and I go heavy slash, special move, boom. And you just rinse and repeat these really super basic bread and butter combos. And then I thought about it and I'm like, that's what I do for the most part. A lot of my main attacks are basically go in, slash, heavy slash, special. And obviously there's a lot more you could do from that, especially if you involve like the RC system and stuff. People, like, these new people don't care about that shit. And you know what? More power to them. And one thing that I saw somebody say was they have a bunch of friends that don't traditionally play a lot of fighting games. Like, that's not really their thing. But unlike most other fighting games, they've been motivated to actually learn the game a little bit more because it's not overwhelming to do good damage. Like, I don't need to know that this is +2 and 7 and 8, 9, 42 and blah, blah, blah. But the execution is simpler for the basic stuff. It's good to see that the execution barrier is lower without sacrificing the depth, because to me, that's the key. I think the main thing to take away from this is that when you start something, you're never going to be good at it. And you're always going to get beaten by the people that have been playing. That's kind of what the floor system is all about. If skill-based matchmaking is in play, and people of their own skill level will play against other people of their skill level, then they can just do whatever the fuck and have a good time. And isn't that what it's all about? Honestly, this conversation could go on for a long time. And I hope it does, because it's a very interesting conversation, because my perspective of playing the game is very, very different to a lot of the casual fan base. I know, I'm casual in terms of skill, but I'm trying, damn it. But anyway, what do you think of this whole dilemma? Do you think Arxis did a good job of making Guilty Gear Strive more accessible to new players? What are your experiences with learning a new fighting game? How do you decide that this is the one you're going to stick with? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe for some more fighting game goodness, and I will catch you for the next video.